facts. We're diving in, okay? So, fact number 1. Marilyn Monroe owned an extensive library of literature and was an avid reader, often photographed enjoying a good book. Some of Monroe's favorites included The Fall by Albert Camus and Ernest Hemingway's The Sun Also Rises. Monroe's bookshelf was exceedingly impressive. At the time of her death, she owned more than 400 volumes, including several first editions. Of the thousands of photographs taken of her, she was especially fond of the ones that showed her reading. When a director once found her reading R.M. Rilke's Letters to a Young Poet, he asked her how she chose it. On nights when I've got nothing else to do, I go to the Pickwick bookstore on Hollywood Boulevard, she told him, and I just open books at random, or when I come to a page or a paragraph I like, I buy that book. So last night I bought this one. Is that wrong? No, it's not wrong. I love that she loved to read. It's cute. I don't know. I really related to Marilyn too, and the same with Chanel. When people think that you're so pretty and they think that that's all you are, it makes me so sad. So I love looking at women who in history were so beautiful and were in fashion and beauty and acting and stuff, but they're also so smart. It's how do you think that they got where they are? Anyway, alright, let's go to number 2. Marilyn Monroe's real name was Norma Jean Mortensen. Norma Jean Mortensen. Number 3. Monroe loved to wear Chanel No. 5, which we know from my Chanel video, but anyway. In an interview in 1952, Marilyn Monroe said that she wore 5 drops of Chanel No. 5 and nothing else to bed. I don't want to say nude, she said, but it's the truth. Number 4. Before the bright lights of Hollywood swept up a young Norma Jean, James Doherty married the pretty teenager when she was just 16. We decided to get married to prevent her from going back to a foster home, Doherty later said, but we were in love. I never knew Marilyn Monroe, and I don't claim to have any insights to her to this day, Doherty told United Press International in 1990. I knew and loved Norma Jean. That's so cute and pure, I think. Sort of. I don't know. She got married at 16, which is whack, but different times. And number 5. In comparison to her fellow leading ladies of the era, Marilyn Monroe was overworked and underpaid. Elizabeth Taylor was paid $1 million for Cleopatra, while Monroe earned just $100,000 for Something's Gotta Give. Jane Russell, Marilyn's co-star in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, was also paid over 10 times the amount that Marilyn earned. The nerve of some people. Okay. Number 6. In 1956, Marilyn married playwright, author, and screenwriter Arthur Miller. The turbulent relationship proved controversial once in the public eye, and many speculated that Miller was using Marilyn as a creative muse. Though the relationship ended in heartache, Miller went on to write, "She was a whirling light to me then, all paradox and enticing mystery, street tough one moment, then lifted by a lyrical and poetic sensitivity that few retain past early adolescence." Number 7. Marilyn Monroe was a huge dog person, as she owned several dogs throughout her life. I can get behind that. I'm a huge dog person. Number 8. She entertained the U.S. soldiers in 1954 while in Korea, and this was some of her most famous performances. It's always recreated and whatnot. And number 9. Marilyn Monroe and Yankee Clipper Joe DiMaggio shared a whirlwind romance, marrying in 1954 and splitting just 9 months later. DiMaggio's love for Monroe lasted far longer than their marriage survived. Remaining friends until the end, DiMaggio had roses delivered to Marilyn's crypt 3 times a week for 20 years. Joe DiMaggio was a baseball player. I'm pretty sure the Yankee Clippers. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna go with it. So, at number 10, Monroe's hourglass shape continues to inspire ladies to embrace their natural shape. Marilyn's weight fluctuated throughout her career. Her weight changed so dramatically through the filming of The Prince and the Shower Girl that Beatrice Dawson, the costume designer for the film, said, "I have 2 ulcers from this film and they're both monogrammed MM." That sucks. Like, rough time. I don't like fluctuating weight is so irritating. Number 16. Hollywood duo Marilyn Monroe and crooning legend Frank Sinatra maintained a friendship over a number of years, with many stories detailing a close romance between the pair. Supposedly in 1961, Marilyn and Sinatra embarked on an intimate relationship lasting several months. James Claplin's account of their relationship claims that Sinatra asked Monroe to stay with him at his Lake Tahoe resort in a final attempt to win over the actress and protect her from the darker sides of fame. It's also thought that Sinatra expressed his desires to marry Marilyn, but she declined his proposal. Following Marilyn's death, Joe DiMaggio turned Sinatra away from her funeral. The former friends had become rivals, with speculations that Marilyn and Joe had rekindled their romance prior to her passing away. The dramatics of it all. Number 17. Marilyn's estate was valued at $1.6 million when she died in 1962. She left 75% of that estate to her acting coach, Lee Strasberg, and 25% to her psychoanalyst, Dr. Marina Chris. Marilyn has also left a trust fund for her mother that was worth $5,000 a year. I can't imagine what she would be worth if she was alive in today's day and age. Like, 1.6 million isn't really a lot to be worth when you're someone of her stature, but again, she was being super underpaid for a lot of her work. So, there's that. Number 18. Monroe sang "Happy Birthday, Mr. President" to JFK, which sparked further rumors they were having an affair, and to be fair, maybe one of the most famous renditions of the Happy Birthday song I think we've all seen or heard or know of a recreation of this scene or seen the real one. Happy birthday, Mr. President. I will not sing it because I have a terrible singing voice, but that's 18. Fact 18 for y'all. Okay, 19. Decades before yoga became an Instagram trend. I don't know what just happened. Instagram trend. Monroe was a fan of practicing yoga. She was taught by Bollywood film star Indra Devi, yeah. So she was doing yoga before it was cool, so good for her. Number 20. Oh, I have hair. In 1952, Pageant magazine published a feature on Marilyn's exercise routine and famous figure. Marilyn shared, "I spent at least 10 minutes each morning working out with small weights. I have evolved my own exercises for the muscles I wish to keep firm, and I know they are right for me because I can feel them putting the proper muscles into play as I exercise." She's not wrong. She's actually making healthy choices there. Number 21. Elton John's 1973 hit "Candle in the Wind" was inspired by Marilyn and even references her birth name, Norma Jean. The song empathizes with Marilyn's struggles, particularly the way in which the press harassed her. Number 22. Following Marilyn's death, actress Veronica Hamill bought Monroe's former home. Supposedly, when Hamill was renovating the house, she found a system of wiretaps. It was later confirmed by PI Fred Otash that Marilyn's house had been bugged by the FBI and CIA. That's crazy. Literally absurd. Poor thing, honestly. I don't know. Like, she lived such a difficult life, honestly, in my opinion. Number 23. Britney Spears, the original pop princess, was given Marilyn Monroe's jeans from River of No Return by Tommy Hilfiger, who purchased them for $37,000. American, that's a lot of money. So Britney Spears owns Marilyn Monroe's jeans because the Tommy Hilfiger bought them from an auction 26. Another inspiration in Marilyn's life was none other than Abraham Lincoln. The star read everything she could about him and wrote in her autobiography, "He was the only famous American who seemed most like me, at least in his childhood." That's sad. Number 27. Number 27. When Marilyn sadly passed away, her death was ruled a probable suicide. However, the deputy coroner dealing with her death was unable to obtain all the necessary organs for toxicology tests. He was told they'd been destroyed. This spurred an array of conspiracies around Marilyn's death. One theory suggests that Marilyn was murdered because she was set to reveal the details of her affairs with the Kennedy brothers, but of course this is just a theory and we'll probably never know for certain, although it's likely true. Suspicious, honestly. And let's move on. Number 28. She was born on June 1st, 1926. So she would have been, gosh, like 94 years old right now. No, 90. Yeah, 94. Yes, 94. So she, yeah, okay. Number 29. She passed away in 1962 at the age of 36. 36 years old. Number 30. As a child, Norma Jean Baker, originally spelled as Norma Jean with an E instead of no E, was in and out of foster homes, state care, and the guardianship of various family friends. She never knew her father, and her mother had been committed to a psychiatric facility. Number 31. Norma Jean Baker's mother had fame on the brain early on for her daughter. She chose Norma as her first name after actress Norma Talmadge. 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 I don't know. 32. Her original stage name was going to be Jean Adair. Alas, she didn't pick it. Number 33. Baker chose Monroe as her surname because it was her mother's maiden name. In her ghost-written autobiography, Monroe said she was told that she was somehow related to President James Monroe, but no evidence has ever been found to support that. Number 34. When Gladys Baker, Marilyn's mother, told people Marilyn Monroe was her daughter, no one believed her. Gladys, once a film cutter at RKO, was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and was in and out of psychiatric care for years. Gladys took Norma Jean to a foster family when she was just 2 weeks old, which resulted in a series of orphanages and foster care homes for the rest of her childhood. So she didn't have a close relationship with her mother. When Marilyn hit it big and Gladys told friends and co-workers that her daughter was the Marilyn Monroe, they dismissed it as one of her paranoid schizophrenic delusions. Also, okay, so I have Norma Jean Baker and Norma Jean Mortensen, and her mom's last name is Baker, so maybe like Mortensen was like her dad's last name. I'm not sure where, this is what I get for not reading over it. Anyway, number 35. Marilyn Monroe often referred to Marilyn Monroe in the third person. Actor Eli Wallach once recalled that Monroe seemed to flip an inner switch and turn Marilyn on and off. He had been walking on Broadway with her one evening, totally incognito, and the next minute she was swarmed with attention. I just felt like being Marilyn for a minute. Wallace remembers her saying. Photographer Sam Shaw often heard her critiquing Marilyn's performances in movies or at photo shoots, making comments like, "She wouldn't do this, Marilyn would say that." Interesting. It's like she was always in character. Number 36. Marilyn Monroe was Truman Capote's first choice to play Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's. And she didn't get it. The nerve. Number 37. After working with Monroe on Bus Stop, Oscar-nominated actor Don Murray noted that while her talent was undeniable, she was never truly comfortable in front of the camera. She was a very experienced film actress, but she could forget so many of the personally opposed to a deep tan because I like to feel blonde all over. She's basically like, I'm gonna be pale. As pale as I can be. Who cares about Coco Chanel popularizing the tan? I don't. It's Monroe said. 39. She had a thing for intellectual men. Monroe's marriage to writer Arthur Miller probably tells you that, but there's more evidence. Monroe was once roommates with actress Shelley Winters, who said they made a list of men they wanted to sleep with just for fun. There was no one under 50 on hers, Winters later reported. I never got to ask her before she died how much of her list she had achieved, but on her list was Albert Einstein. And after her death, I noticed that there was a silver framed photograph of him on her white piano. I don't know what Shelley is trying to say, but maybe Marilyn Monroe. No, Albert Einstein be dead, wasn't he? I'm not sure, but maybe. And number 40, number 40. Marilyn Monroe was loyal to Arthur Miller even though it put her career in jeopardy. In 1956, Marilyn's future husband, the crucible playwright Arthur Miller, was called to testify before the House Un-American Activities Committee. When this happened, celebrities were expected to name names of people who had allegedly been involved in communist activities. Miller refused to do so, which could have landed him in prison. Marilyn's steadfast commitment to Miller probably kept the playwright from being sentenced. It probably didn't hurt that he announced their wedding plans in the middle of his testimony. That's bad, but kind of funny. Number 41. The FBI had a file on Marilyn Monroe. The FBI's file on Monroe was probably open due to her relationship with Miller and his un-American activities, coupled with a request she made to visit the Soviet Union in 1955. She never actually made the trip. If you're so inclined, you can find the file online, apparently. Number 42. According to Shelley Winters, Marilyn Monroe wasn't much of a cook. Winters says she once asked the actress to wash lettuce so they could have a salad for dinner. When she walked into the kitchen, Winters found Monroe washing each individual lettuce leaf with a Brillo pad. I think that's really funny. Number 43. Apparently she improved after the lettuce incident. Several of Monroe's recipes were discovered after her death, and in 2010, the New York Times tried making her stuffing recipe for Thanksgiving. They found it surprisingly complex and theorized that she not only cooked, but cooked confidently and with flair. So she just needed to learn. Number 44. The rumor has long circulated that Ella Fitzgerald was originally denied due to her race, but according to one biographer, race was deterrent for nightclub owner Charlie Morrison. The problem was that Morrison didn't believe Fitzgerald was glamorous enough for his patrons. A huge Fitzgerald fan, Monroe promised to be the front row every night if Morrison would book her, guaranteeing massive amounts of press for the club. He agreed, and Monroe was true to her word. After that, I had never played a small jazz club again. Fitzgerald said she was an unusual woman, a little ahead of her times, and she didn't know it. Number 45. Marilyn Monroe had a hard time memorizing lines. The joke was she couldn't make two sentences meet, said Don Murray, an actor who co-starred with Monroe in the 1956 film Bus Stop. Though some chalked it up to a lack of professionalism, others, including Murray, believed it was nerves. Number 46. Marilyn Monroe's wardrobe is worth a fortune at $1,267,500. The sheer spangled dress Monroe wore to sing Happy Birthday to JFK in 1962 set the world record for the most expensive piece of clothing ever sold. A collectible company purchased it. The famous 7-inch ear-itch dress set a record too, selling for $4.6 million. In 2011, casual attire goes for less, but still fetches more than your average pair of Levi's. 47. Frank Sinatra gifted Marilyn Monroe with a dog named Mav. The Maltese Terrier was a gift catch Marilyn Monroe cheating with another man. In 1954, Joe, and Old Blue Eyes were having dinner together when a private investigator that DiMaggio had hired tipped them off that Marilyn was with another man. Right that second, in a house not that far away, they assembled a crowd, yes, a crowd, and broke into the house where she was allegedly having her triced. It wasn't until they broke the lock of the door and stormed inside snapping photos that they realized it was the wrong house entirely. The whole thing blew up when the homeowner sued. Sinatra had to testify before the California State Senate 2 years later. The homeowner's secretary, Florence Cox, was awarded $7,500 for her drama. Number 49. Monroe was only married to her second husband, Joe DiMaggio, for a mere of 274 days. Though many things contributed to their divorce, the infamous subway scene in The 7-Year Itch, where the skirt of Marilyn's dress billows up, was said to have been the last straw. The scene was shot in front of a large crowd of media and bystanders, and DiMaggio became irate over how much she was exposing herself. They fought over it, and according to some reports, DiMaggio got physical. Marilyn Monroe divorced DiMaggio over mental cruelty. Whether or not DiMaggio did get physical with Monroe, their marriage came to an end shortly after the 7-Year Itch incident. Monroe filed for divorce on the grounds of mental cruelty not long after. The kicker: that particular fight was completely unnecessary. The crowd made enough noise that the footage shot that day was completely unusable, so Monroe had to reshoot her scenes on a closed sound stage. Number 50. DiMaggio continued to be there when Monroe needed him, including bringing her to spring training with him so that she could have got away from Hollywood for a while. Shortly before her death, DiMaggio had been telling friends that they were going to get remarried. When she died, he was in charge of the funeral, and he refused to allow almost anyone from Hollywood to attend. Tell them if it wasn't for her, she'd still be here. And we have two bonus facts. So, 51. Marilyn Monroe had been in discussions to star in a biopic about Jean Harlow, one of her heroes, for years. Marilyn and her friend Sydney Skolowski had long been hatching plans for a biopic of Jean Harlow, which Marilyn would star in and Skolowski would produce. Harlow, another blonde bombshell and Hollywood starlet who died young, was one of Marilyn's idols, so the self-casting would have been poetic. And 52. Warren Beatty was one of the last people to see Marilyn Monroe live. At 25-year-old Warren Beatty was attending a party at actor and JFK's brother-in-law Peter Lawford's house. When he met Monroe for the first time, she asked him to take a long walk along the beach with